Well, speaking of your colleague Alan Davis, I read he said recently that you have incredible recall. And when you wrote Moab as My Washpot and the Fry Chronicles, I assume you contacted people to check certain facts because you went a long way back. Were they amazed at the details that you remembered?
Yes, I mean, of course, there are various different kinds of memory, aren't there? I mean, there's a memory for faces that some people have, and a memory for names. There's a memory for dates some people have of their own lives. You know, oh, I remember back in 1985 I did so and so. I couldn't tell you what year I did anything in. I mean, I can remember that I first came to Perth in 1981 because it was the first time I came to Australia. It was the year I left university. You remember dates like that, but anything in between then and now is just a sort of fuzz of 30 years and so on. But I can remember that the Battle of Bannockburn was in 1314, or that Cardinal Richelieu died in 1642, or that Bismarck was born in 1815, or whatever. Stupid things like that's a different kind of memory. And there's the personal memory one has, one's first memory of, I don't know, lying in a pushchair with the sun on one's eyes, eating ice cream or whatever. Now that's again a very different sort of memory from remembering a whole Shakespeare sonnet, for example, or from remembering details and characters in a novel you read 30 years ago. These are all different sorts of memory. They should have different names for each one, in the same way Greeks have different names for love. There's the love of friendship, philos, or there's sexual love, eros, and there's the sort of spiritual love, agape. You know, there are lots of different types of love, and we only have one word for them, which is a bit of a shame, because it means if you sometimes say of a friend that you love them, people think, is he? Whoa. And you actually just mean you love them in the sense of brotherly love, as it were, the philos sense, as in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, as opposed to eros, and that's a whole different thing. So there are different kinds of memory, but I have to say I've always been lucky at that. Of course, you have to give a little leeway in writing a biography. You can't. I mean, I both volumes of autobiography I wrote, I naturally sent to the people who were mentioned in it before it was printed, and said, A, do you think I have that right, and B, do I have your permission? And of course there are different versions people have of it. So Hugh, the description I have of when I first met Hugh, he said absolute nonsense. But the other three people in the room said I was completely right. So I knew I was, but Hugh said, no, surely that's not right.